Okay, right. This will be an awkward size original once again. So let's see what we can do with it. Okay. Going to have to work out the size for that. So we're going to go in, be intuitive about it. Don't know how big we're going to make it. X is going to be, it would be easier maybe to put it on the glass, but nah, I won't bother. It's going to make it 140%, which is close to not the 141.4, but anyway, which is an A5 to A4, or A4 to A3, and the vertical, going to make the vertical, we're going to make it 100 and, how much, how big, 160 vertical. This is going to be a challenging one, so let's see how it goes. Right. Okay. Okay. I wonder what background colour we'll give this one, if we're going to give it a background colour. But it looks like the kind that would do with a background colour, which is typical. Okay, so what colour are we going to make it to? Colour balance, we're going there. Just up the colours. Using the black. Right, sharpness, we've got to put that in. Okay. And the hue, I wonder what we're going to do with the hue. Going to make it cold. I'm going to cool it right down, and wonder if we're going to go and do our usual thing and add a whack load of red. So I wonder what background colour we're going to add to this particular one. This one's going to be an interesting one. We'll go here and we're going to go, I think it's going to be red, blue, green, magenta. What colour are we going to drop into this? We're going to make it blue for now. See how that goes. God, this is a real complicated one, but it is. Real estate, Bell property, posh shit, expensive. I mean, how many people these days can afford their own house? A lot of people are homeless, and yet rich people have this stupid idea that they can make money out of property instead of, they just leave their houses empty, which is really dumb. I mean, people need, there's not enough cheap housing for people who really need it. And I've been homeless myself, so I know I got a bit of a lived experience. And fortunately, it was just an experience for me. But for a lot of people, it's not an experience. It's a way of life. It's become their lifestyle. And I'm pretty sure there aren't many homeless people that really enjoy sleeping rough or even sleeping on someone else's couch, because couch surfing, as it's colloquially called, when you sleep at your friend's or your parents' place and you're not really welcome, you're not there permanently, you're trying to ride it out, whatever's causing your homelessness, and basically, and often you end up overstaying your welcome, and then you could end up sleeping rough. But I mean, sleeping rough is actually a small percentage of homelessness. Most homelessness is indeed to do with, which is this couch surfing, sleeping on someone's couch. Fortunately, there's less rough sleepers than you'd imagine, but still they do exist, and they have to somehow put up with it. And having to sleep on someone's couch isn't really exactly ideal either. So I think we got the vertical. I was thinking it'd be nice if I could fill that page, but we're just going to keep it like that. Looks like we're going to just fit this one to page. But yeah, it's not an easy world to live in these days. And the rich people don't make it any easy. You know, in the old days, you could be a working class person, support a whole family on one salary, you know, or one wage, and you could buy your own fucking house. It was like totally easy in the old days, but now it's like, fuck, it's not the same anymore. It's shit. But, you know, what can we do now? It's a different world we live in. It's not a fair world. Now, why we got the same percentage? That can't be right. Let's just clear that. Let's just try that again and see if we can work it out. But basically, yeah, it's not the same as it used to be. I mean, my dad bought a house, bought a block of land back in 1979, I think it was, built a house on it, but my parents did split, and my mum is now still living in it, and she was very fortunate she was able to pay off the mortgage before she was made redundant. She would have been in big shit otherwise. But it was a different time back then. But it's so different now. It's not a good time we're living in. I really hate the here and now. I wish things would change for the better. But I'm just another low-class citizen, so I basically can't do anything about it. I just have to stay put in this housing department unit. I'm very fortunate to have it. Very fortunate. But basically, how should I put it? I'm hoping to meet up with my future husband, Luigi. We've got things we have to get done before we can get together. But once I've found Luigi and we get married, this place will go to somebody else who actually needs it. So when I get married, I'm going to be out of here, and this place will be given back to the Department of Housing, and I'm hoping someone with a real need will get this house and feel happy to have a place to call home, a place where they can sleep, and, you know, so they can be comfortable. So I hope I save somebody's life from being homeless, because I want to do that. If I had the money, if I was a rich pig, no, not a pig, if I was a rich person who's not a pig, if I was a rich person, if I was earning billions of dollars, like the CEO of Apple, I'd be giving most of my money away to help people. That's what I want to do. That's what I desire to do one day. If I can become rich, one day I'll build, me and my future husband will build photocopy machines, we'll design and build them, and I want to own the company. There's not going to be any shareholders involved, so I won't have to feel like I have to perform for them. It's going to be owned 100% by me, and basically I'm going to be giving most of my money away to help the needy, to help the environment, to make the place a more equitable, I think that's the right word, or a place that's more about equality instead of inequality and classism. Classism is like racism. There's no difference really, except you don't have to be an ethnic minority or an indigenous person to be treated like your shit. You don't have to be anymore. It happens to white people as much as it happens to indigenous people or foreigners. The discrimination is more widespread. The snootiness that you get from an area like where I'm living, North Shore, you sort of feel like you don't quite fit in. I've got disabilities and like brain damage at birth, so I'm going to need special technology to fix the broken parts of my brain that prevent me from being able to run a big company or do anything like learning and that, and one day they'll have the technology, and that's when I can take over from Luigi, a future photocopier company, and we build an artificially intelligent photocopier, and it'll make life easy for people in the office. And the money I get, as I said, will go towards preventing poverty, or if it has to be the case, alleviating it, because there might still be people who've fallen through the cracks. And if this world could be a perfect world, I don't want anyone to fall through the cracks. I don't want anyone falling through the cracks. But to be honest, it's not going to be perfect. I've got to think realistically here. But we're going to try and get as close to perfect as we can in a broken world that we live in. As close to it, because I'm a perfectionist. But I got to realise I still can't save everyone. I want to try to save everyone. I endeavour to. Because I just see so much inequality. I walk down the streets of Sydney and I see people on the street. It's just so unfair. And yet these rich people have multiple properties laying empty. I know that it might seem that a lot of these homeless people might be on drugs or have problems, but they're not going to overcome their drug problems while they're still on the street. And maybe these rich people should take out insurance, find a good insurance company and have their properties insured so that if any damage occurs from these people, it'll be accounted for. But we really need to lower the price of housing. This is getting ridiculous. We've got to stop this bullshit of owning multiple properties for profit. Even people who are not on the street still need a house. They're living in rent stress. They can't afford the rent, so we need more affordable housing. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents for the day. Hope you find this interesting. Gotta go.